Today's show is a heated one. We're talking love, the good boy, the bad boy and the mother's boy. Why do we always fall for the bad boy? What makes Mr. Right so right? In a nutshell, we're asking, how do you pick the perfect guy? And why do the pretty girls always fall for the beast? Is there such thing as Mr. Right? That's DKW today. Stay tuned. Welcome to the show, everyone. Welcome, ladies. How are you?
Hello there, Jem.
Good, good, good. Let's jump straight to the topic. Ladies, I want to know, is there such a thing as the perfect guy? Kim?
Oh, I think the reason why I think there's no such thing as a perfect guy is because us girls, we change our expectations all the time. And I think as we grow older, as we change, I think what we look for a man changes. And I think we can actually boil it down to not so much the perfect guy, but the guy I can live with.
Interesting, the guy I can live with. Sam, what do you say? Because last week, I remember on the ad, you said that you've got the perfect guy right at home with you.
Yeah, I would say that. I don't think that's the case with every living woman alive, no. Because I think that you have to find the person that is compatible to you, Jem. And that's why I said my husband is perfect to me, because I'm compatible with him and we gel together as one, so we work together very well, so he becomes my perfect man. Because no, I'm not perfect, he's not perfect, but we make each other, we're perfect in each other's eyes.
Mary Jo, I want to ask you, where does this, I don't know, this image of the perfect guy come from?
Good question. I wonder. I think it comes from when you are growing up. There is all these movies, there is Beauty and the Beast, there is Cinderella, all of this, isn't it? That create that prince, charming, perfect, handsome. So I think it comes from that, you know, as you are growing up, you see all of that, so you create this Mr. Perfect in your mind that you will find somehow, somewhere. He's there waiting for you and he's gonna come up soon. So I think it comes from all of that.
I do think those cartoons have a lot to play in it, because when you even said about Beauty and the Beast, I kind of thought, how does that relate to it? But then I thought, oh yeah, because in the end he turns into this really good-looking guy. That doesn't really happen in real life. But you know, it's funny because we were talking to the producers before the show, and she was talking about old crushes when we were in the playground in primary school, and she was saying, if you think about those crushes, a lot of the time they're really sort of like geeky or really ugly and so on. Now, I could relate. Can any of you relate?
I wouldn't say that I had crushes or geeky or anything like that, because I can't remember myself having a crush on any of the schools. So I said, speak for yourself, whoever said that. But I do remember me being teased all the time with a teacher that apparently had a crush on me in school. And that was really, really awful, because he was one of those history teachers, you know.
How old were you?
I was probably, probably between, in that age, probably around 10, I don't know, 10, 11. No. You know, that age group. So that was awful.
Disgusting. How did you know he had a crush on you?
Well, what it was always Sam, she's the one, you know, all the nice things, you know, always staring at me. So what happened was, the rest of the class picked up on it. So I was always being teased by by the other children about this teacher. Oh, now we're going into history lesson. Oh, Sam, you know. And he was one of those teachers, you know, with all the, you know, the dandruff all over his coat. It literally used to make me sick, and I actually hated going to his lesson. But the thing is, it was one of my best subjects. So they used to tease me and say, "Oh, you only got top grades because of this teacher."
Well, speaking about history teacher, I had a crush on mine. I was like maybe 13, 14, and he was quite young. You know those young teachers. Probably was his first year, and he was quite handsome. So, and history became my best subject.
Wow. There you go.
He was very, very handsome.
It wasn't Mr. Edwards, was it?
I actually don't remember his name. But I remember that I used to enjoy going to his class a lot. He was very
My history
handsome.
teacher had a comb over.
I know,
It was my best subject too. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So did you have a crush on anyone, Kim?
Do you know, I've been racking my brains about this, if I had a crush on someone. I remember, like, when I was in primary school, there was like those people like used to play little kiss chase and stuff but I'm thinking probably that's not quite classed as a crush, but there was people that, oh, I like that one. And you don't know how to show someone you like them, and you know.
Oh, that was a crush then, yeah.
Yeah. You don't know how to show, and you run around and you hit them instead.
Yeah. It's so funny that you say that, actually, because I used to play kiss chase as well in the primary school, and I had a really big crush on this guy called Rory, and he was like a redhead with like freckles. Now I look back and I think, what were you thinking? But I remember the reason I had a crush on him was because one day I opened we had trays at school where we put our homework in, and he put a lollipop in my tray, and I thought, he's the one.
Oh, he probably had a crush on you, Jem.
Yeah, he did. But you know, anyway, that's old news. Mary Jo, have you got any comments for us?
Yes, we do. We asked in our Facebook page if Mr. Perfect exists. So we had a few comments, and we chose one here from Denise Allen. She said, I think there is a Mr. Right for you, meaning a suitable match for you. However, I think that many times we women think of Mr. Right as Mr. Perfect, and that's where the problem starts.
We'll talk about that in a minute. If you want to share your comment just like Denise, then you can leave a comment on our Facebook page, A Different Kind of Woman. We can tweet us at DKWMe. So before we go any further, MJ, you got some news pieces for us?
Yes, I do. And it's a little bit concerning the subject of today.
Okay.
I've read in the news that Gwyneth Paltrow, she's 40, and she's been married to
That Coldplay.
the Coldplay singer Chris Martin. He's 36. He's 4 years younger than her. However, she says that they've been married for 10 years now, and she says that they have, some terrible patches during their marriage. And she said, let me get my facts straight here so that I don't say anything that she didn't say. Of all the things that she said in the interview, one thing stood for me. She said that she asked her father, that has been married for 33 years with her mother, of course, what was the secret of their marriage. And the father said, look, well, we never wanted to get divorced at the same time. And I think she said that I think that's what happens when two people throw in the towel at the same time, then you break up. But if one person's saying, come on, we can do this, you carry on. So I think this is a very, nice advice, and I do think that when both parts say it's over, then it's really over. But if there is one of them still wants to fight, then I don't know what you guys think.
I quite agree with that. I think with any relationship, it needs two to be pulling at it. And I think even if you go through your bad times, as difficult times, as we all do in our relationships. But I think if there's always one there who's not willing to give up on that relationship, it gives strength to the other side. So I think that's a good moral.
But as well, it shows us that, because we were speaking about crushes before, and I'm sure a lot of us, I don't know if you guys relate, I know I relate. When we were growing up, all of us had crushes on celebrities and singers and actors and all of that. But it shows that they go through their problems as well, and that there is no perfect relationship or perfect person out there, that you have to fight to build the things you want and the way you want them.
And I quite like the way that she was honest about it. Do you know what I mean? Because they're such a cool couple. Like, he's really successful in his own right, and she's a very successful actress. But they're saying I go through bad times, but you always see them out and about, really cool designer clothes, and like walking with their children. Really cool couple. But, you know, it's the reality. Do you think that's quite good, Kim, for them to show the reality of celebrity marriages?
Because I think when you do see these celebrity couples, you always see them happy, as you said, going out. And sometimes you think, well, you could look at your own relationship, well, how comes we're not like that? How comes we're not walking in the park? How comes our kids aren't as lovely as their children? And they're letting you know that not everyone is living that way. And I think most couples, I would say every couple, goes through this kind of rough patch. And it's when you do marry someone or you do get in a relationship with someone, it's because you do love them. Yeah. And I do think to some extent that the love never really quite dies. Say if one person is willing to still hold on, it's hard for the other person to completely dismiss them. You'd have to be really cold-hearted to do that. And that's why even when you do try and get a divorce, you can't get an instant divorce. There's certain criteria that you have to go through for an instant divorce. I think one of them is infidelity. But even then, there's the cooling off period. There's the divorce nice side and the divorce absolute. Because it's just to try and see if you really want this.
And because in that long process, because it takes so long, you can change your mind, right?
Yeah. And I think if one person is saying no, then it can't happen. It really can't happen. So what her father said is very true, and I think it's really good that they can show people that you can go through hard times, but if you really try it, you can make it work.
Well, ladies, I've got another one for you, and this one's linked directly to the show. 3 in 4 women say that they believe that there is no such thing as the perfect guy. Actually, in a poll done with the Telegraph, most said they only see their partner as 69% perfect. I thought this was quite fun, actually. According to the poll, amongst other things, women found men imperfect because of these 3 things. So these were the main 3, amongst others. Number 1, they watch too much sports. Number 2, poor personal grooming. And number 3, the inability to multitask. That's what makes men imperfect. What do you guys think of that?
Do you know something? It makes sense.
For me, it's the personal stuff.
Do you know why it makes sense? Do you know why it makes sense? It's because would anybody want to be with a man who cannot maintain personal hygiene? Who would want that?
I know you've spoken about this before. Was it the teeth, Kim? I can't remember.
Does it still happen nowadays?
Yes. Have you not been on the bus?
But and the train in the morning, you can smell it.
The thing is, it works both ways.
I think they are looking for a woman, isn't it? Like all of this is... All of that, what you said, like multitask, that's
They said number 1, he's imperfect because he watches too much sports.
Only
number 2, poor personal grooming. And number 3, inability to multitask. I don't know,
Mary Jo, what do you think about watching too much sport?
Well, you know, my husband is probably doing it now.
We thought so.
Which is great because it means you can be on the show.
With no worries. You know, I think, yes, sometimes it's way too much, you know, but I don't think that makes a man not perfect.
No, because what's happened, you've learned to adjust. That's what I said at the beginning. You learn to adjust.
Maybe, yes.
Certain things don't really bother you as much as they used to. But if he didn't watch so much sport, you'd think, okay, what kind of man are you?
But that's it with relationships. So you've got to give and take. If you don't, if you expect so much from them and for them to be so perfect, they can't do this, they can't do that, they're going to have to give way for you, and you've got to give way for them.
Do you think that we're just too picky as women? Because if you wasn't watching sports and maybe like say, I don't know, chatting over coffee with us all the time, how boring is it? Just leave me alone.
I think that would happen, isn't it? I think of all of those 3 things, the only thing would really bother me would be the grooming part.
Personal hygiene.
Like the multitask, we already know men, they don't know how they can do it. And the football, you know, you learn to adjust.
Well, the poll also found that women believe that the perfect man would be expected to make an effort with his partner's friends, avoid using her toothbrush, stay clean shaven, not be lazy, but above all have a great personality and a fab sense of humour. Do you agree at home? Well, if you do, then you can leave a comment on our Facebook page, A Different Kind of Woman, or you can tweet us. We're going to go for a quick break, but when we come back, we are asking, does the perfect guy exist? Back soon. Welcome back, ladies. Today we are talking about how to find the perfect guy, and does he really exist? Ladies, Mr. Right, what is the most important characteristic, would you say, to make a guy perfect, or Mr. Right?
Wow, it'd have to be
Sam.
affectionate.
Affectionate.
Yeah,
what would you say, Kim?
definitely.
Mr. Right, what would make Mr. Right for you?
I think really loving. Yeah.
Loving.
Same kind of lines like
Yeah.
yeah.
So affectionate, loving. Mary Jo, what would you say?
Good sense of humor.
Good sense of humour. Yeah,
I think that's very important in a relationship.
Yeah, I think I'd have to say something like faithfulness or loyalty. That's quite important to me.
Yeah.
Mary Jo, I think you've got some more comments for us.
Yes, I do. Chansey McKenzie said, "My Mr. Right is when he takes charge." I'm not saying the scary part. What makes me attracted to a guy is when he's not afraid of me, neither is afraid to challenge me.
So guys who's not afraid to challenge her. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I mean, no, I don't. I personally would not like a man who's a total walkover. I think, yes, of course, it's nice when you have a man who will, you know,
Understands.
he understands, and he will take, you know, he will give way sometimes, you know, and agree with you sometimes. Not just no, it's got to be my way. But yes, I think definitely.
Yeah, I think I like what she says. When he's not afraid,
When
when
you
he
need a
takes
challenge.
charge.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want the
Yeah,
challenge.
we want a man to be a little bit masterful sometimes, don't we?
Yeah. Take the lead a little bit. Yeah. What have you got, Sam?
Yes, I've got faithfulness, honesty, sincerity, God-fearing, and humbleness.
Who said that?
Well, this is Zodwa.
Oh, so these are comments. So okay,
Yeah,
brilliant. Okay.
so a young lady called Zodwa.
Okay, and what have you got, Kim?
I've got a comment from Candy Kane. Mr. Right, in my opinion, would be loyal, trustworthy, funny, good sense of humour, respectful, hardworking, determined, humble, honest, outgoing, ambitious, motivates you.
Ooh, I love it. I love that one.
Do you? I just think, gosh, what a shopping list.
Oh, I love that.
Do you know what I mean?
A house
Yeah,
shopping
tell
list.
me about it. That is a lot. So you love it, Sam?
Yeah, because I can
see.
I can see my husband in all of these.
Can you?
Yeah, he's hard working, he's determined, he's a humble guy, he's honest, he's outgoing, he's ambitious, he motivates me when I'm down. You know, all these things, yeah.
So he
My
does
Mr. Right.
Well, Maxine Jones put on our Facebook page a different kind of woman if you want to leave the comment. She put chemistry, we can't force it, it's either there or it's not. So that's what makes Mr.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's true, isn't it?
That is true.
Right, well, with this in mind, I've got a little game for you. So ladies, can you get out your cards? Where's mine? I think mine's behind my seat somewhere. I'm hoping it is. Oh yeah, here it is. We're going to play a little game. It's really easy. As you know, here at DKW, we like our green card, red card. We're going to read through a few people, a few well-known celebrities, and you've got to say whether she got it right or whether she didn't. Red. Okay, pretty easy, right? So we get to the right page. Right, first one. Demi Moore and Ashton Kutcher. So you all know who they are, right?
Yes.
If you said no, I would have been worried. Right, did Demi make the right decision by getting hitched to a guy who was much younger than her? What do you guys think? She got it wrong or she got it right?
She got it wrong because she did really got it wrong because they are divorced now. So you know,
She definitely got it wrong.
really got it wrong.
She definitely got it wrong.
She definitely got it wrong. Mind you, they're divorced because he went wrong, did he? I think he cheated.
Did he?
Yeah, so she got it wrong.
She got it wrong. She got it wrong. So why do you think she got it wrong, Kim?
I think when a woman marries a younger man
Yeah.
and she starts to age. Now,
I'm even scared of what's coming up.
Yeah, I'm holding my breath a little bit.
it's different when a man starts to age because sometimes when men age, they look more stately, more attractive. They tend to be more successful.
Yes.
But when a woman ages, it's a completely different process. She goes through menopause, her age, she loses her looks.
Yeah.
You know, and there's all these other issues that go with an aging woman. that doesn't make her as and I'm not being horrible about this, that doesn't make her as attractive as an aging man. And I'm not talking about old man, a young woman with an old man. I'm talking with a woman with probably 5, 6, 7 years older.
Yeah.
So I think there's going to be a point when the man will find that woman attractive. Let's say, like that example, she was in her 40s or whatever when she met him. But as she started to head over the 40s and she started to change her body, her looks, everything, and he's still quite handsome and vibrant, she could never compete.
Because that's the thing. She was with somebody who was like the age of one of her youngest daughters, I think.
Yeah.
So Sam, could you see, if you didn't have Mr. Right at home and Mr. Dixon, could you see yourself with a guy who was the age as your daughter?
No, absolutely not. Not as young as my daughter. I'm not saying that I couldn't go for a person younger than myself. The reason why I say that, because my mother was actually older than my father. And there was a good gap. She was about 5 years old. There was a good gap. But you would have never tell, because I find that women are able to look after themselves. You know, they're able to keep them where men, they can't wear makeup, they can't get their hair done. They're just as they are, as in grooming, haircuts and things like that. So I think it's possible to work. I think it is possible to work for someone younger. I wouldn't say it's impossible, but I think it depends on that age gap.
Because the thing is, there was a thing about her knees and so on. I think she had to get knee surgery because of her saggy knees and stuff like that. And I know there was a lot of pictures of her like wearing mini skirts and all that. Do you think she was a little bit foolish trying to compete with younger women?
Yeah, because look, I'm older than my husband.
Yeah. Oh, I never knew that.
Yeah, you see, it's one of those things. Yeah. Almost 2 years.
Well, that's nothing to you.
Yeah.
Exactly, that's the thing.
what I'm
It's
saying,
nothing.
yeah.
The gap is very, very small. I think with her and many others, it's like the gap was way, like you said, one of her daughters was almost the same age as him.
Yeah,
So I think the gap is way too long. And then there is like this, like you said, you know, she wanted to compete with the other girls that were the same age as him, friends with him probably. And it puts a strain on your relationship.
Well, the thing is, I think maybe she let her emotions run away with her, because it has to be flattering. This young guy who could be your son is interested in you as an older woman. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That I can relate to. It must be like, oh wow, actually, I've still got it.
I mean, I find sometimes I'm shopping, Jem, or I'm out on the town, and I'm always getting these young guys after me. Do you know what I mean? And yes, it is quite flattering, but really, let's be honest here. I couldn't see myself being with one of them. If I was on my own, do you know what I mean? I couldn't see myself with someone.
Because you've got Mr. Right at home, that's why.
They don't have.
Well, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. No, definitely not.
All right,
Doesn't seem right.
Let's move on to the next one. The next one we've got Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt. Is he her Mr. Right? She was formerly known as being a bit wild, but after hooking up with Brad, she seems to have settled down. Do you think that she's got it right or got it wrong? What do you guys think?
I think they actually go well together.
I think she's got it right.
Yeah, I think.
Do you reckon?
They go well.
I don't like to comment about this.
Don't you?
No.
Why?
You're hurt.
Yeah, I'm still hurt with all these relationships.
Get over it.
Before we do it,
like
how are
I
we voting? So you
got
think?
it right.
What do you think, Sam? She got it
I
right.
think she got it right.
I think she got it wrong. What do you say, MJ? You don't want to no comment.
Yeah, it's still
Why?
very painful, this relationship, after all these years.
He hurt you, did he?
Yes, he did, very much. The moment he decided to, you know, go with another woman when he was still in a relationship with another woman. Married. It wasn't like they were dating. It wasn't like he was dating with Jennifer Aniston. He was married to her. So, you know, it's still... I know Jennifer Aniston has moved on, but I still haven't moved on.
Well, I think.
Why do you guys say she got it right?
I think that MJ should actually move on.
Yeah, I haven't
Give them a chance to get it right.
She's got it
Don't
right.
you think?
Yeah. Why do you say Kim as well? Why do you think she got it right?
I think because you can see they actually matured in the relationship. They went and they had children, they adopted other children, and they kind of matured together. Whereas before, she was all over the place, he was with different women. It's like they became adults when they met each other. So that's why I think, okay, he found somebody that he could become an adult with and have children and develop. himself. That's why I think they've got
But the
it
thing
right.
is, I think the reason why I say she got it wrong is I just think, yeah, that's great, but you stole someone's husband, and I'll never forget it.
Yeah.
Like MJ, I'm on team MJ. Do you know what I mean? I just think every time I think about their relationship, they're such a beautiful couple. Yes, they've got
they
about
are.
6 kids or
Yeah.
whatever. But I always think you stole someone's husband, and one day I just expect for this relationship to break down as well.
The same way
In the
it started.
Yeah, because I just think you've got to start right.
I think sometimes with relationships, let's be honest here, sometimes people can get it wrong. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes, although people make vows and commitments, they promise to make commitments, but sometimes the person may have picked the wrong person and it doesn't work out. And that person does have, if they finish that relationship, they have an opportunity to move on. And I find that these two, they have a lot of chemistry between the two of them.
The thing is, though, I think that, yeah, some relationships don't go right, yes, but then why can't you just leave the person then? Why do you have to cheat on them with someone else?
I agree.
Yeah, I agree that should be the way.
The reason why I say that also is because to actually finalise a relation, and actually get divorced is a long process. So if two people have fallen out of love, you can't just separate just like that. It's a process and it takes time. So if he waited for the conclusion of the divorce side, the divorce absolute, that's a long period of time.
He wouldn't wait because he didn't even wait for the end of his
didn't
movie.
wait.
And he was still married.
Yeah,
and
he
he
was
still
still
married.
married,
She
yes.
ended with Angelina Jolie.
It's not right, but sometimes as well, I mean, we don't know the depths of within a relationship. Yes. Sometimes it takes two, Jem. I mean, I'm married. I know I've had areas in my marriage where it's felt so close to breaking. Do you know what I mean? It takes both of you to work on that marriage.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And if you're both not committing to work on that marriage and one is giving way, yeah, all right, if he went off with another woman, something that woman wasn't doing right.
To Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah. There was something she was not, because if she was looking after her husband in bed,
I don't agree with that. Controversial.
I don't agree with that.
You know, I think that he would
Maybe
be
she
happy.
was just a man-eater.
I don't agree with that.
She could have
Even
been.
if she was a man
But if she was
eater,
sweeting him, he'd be still
But
there.
the thing is, you're on set, like, to make a movie, you're on set for, like, I don't know, 6 months at a time with this person. She's beautiful, she's really sensual. Jennifer wasn't. I think she's like the girl next door, but she's beautiful as well. Yeah. But, you know, to get your claws into another woman's husband, it's just unacceptable.
I don't agree with that. I don't think if your husband, your man, cheats on you, I don't think it's your fault. You should never say it's my fault. That woman did something that I'm not doing. I think that is too strong for us to put that fault.
No, I don't think we're not saying that it's her fault. We're just saying it takes two.
I know, but you know the way it was said. I'm sorry, for me it's like to say, oh, she wasn't doing something, you know, to make him happy or maybe to make him fulfilled. But if he was feeling bad in that way, him or any other man, so he should come to his wife and say, look, I'm not happy with this relationship. We have to work it out.
It should be that way.
Go and run away with another woman.
It should be that way,
should be
MJ.
that
In
way.
the real world, unfortunately, things happen. People fall into unfaithfulness and things like this. It's not good, and none of us here agree with it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But in the real world, if you want to keep your husband, you've got to be taking care of him, MJ.
But I want to ask something. I know we're supposed to move on, but don't you make the vow for better, for worse? Because what if the wife got sick, for instance? Does that give the guy like this his meal ticket to then go and cheat?
Not at all.
If she can't please him
Not
in
at
the
all.
bedroom?
Not at all.
Because that's what you said.
Yeah, if I mean, that's different then. That's a sickness, Jem.
Yeah.
If the wife is well, active, we're not talking about an illness. We're talking about a wife who's perfectly healthy and well. Do you know what I mean? And if that chemistry, if that relationship has become cold and neither party is doing anything to work on that relationship, it's going to go off.
but it's like the question, do you think that two people can fall out of love?
I think it's possible, but then
But if you think it's possible,
yeah.
let's say, for example, you married someone and you fell out of love with this person. It just happened. Do you think you need to dedicate the rest of your life to this person because you're married and you've fallen out of love with them?
But what I'm saying is...
No, I'm just saying, do you think you should?
Exactly.
Yes or no?
I personally, it depends on the circumstances, if you've got children, all the rest of it, because I personally think that you could fall in love again. You just need to see what happened. But I just don't agree with people cheating on other people. I just think you either end the relationship and walk
then
away,
you do whatever you
and
want.
then you start again. Because
should be
it's
that
even
way.
terrible for Angelina now, because she's known as the other woman. For me,
Yeah,
she'll
of
always be the other
course.
woman.
Me too.
She'll never be like, oh, that perfect I maybe would have accepted them, but now I don't. I don't. It's just, I just see her as that other woman who stole Brad from Jennifer.
But as Sam said, nobody knows what goes on in the relationship and
That's
why Jan was not enough for him, because he's gone on to have a matured relationship with children and proper commitments. So it wasn't a fling. I think what is wrong is if it was a fling. But it wasn't a fling.
It wasn't just a fling where we just,
relationship.
you know, it was about that.
Well, we have to move on.
We've got to move on.
Yeah.
And this is why it's so important to get it right at the start.
Yes.
At least it makes good talking material for us, right? Okay, so the next one. We've got Kourtney Kardashian and Scott Disick. They're picture perfect. Beautiful couple. Look at them. I just love to look at them. They have kids together. I think they've got 2. But past cheating rumours have seen them on the rocks at times. They have been boyfriend and girlfriend for years. And in a recent interview, when they were asked about tying the knot, they said, if it isn't broken, why try to fix it? What do you guys think?
Which one's cheating, her or him?
No, he was allegedly.
It was never like
it was
Yeah,
never. It was never
proven.
confirmed. Never, but that people thought, oh, he's cheating on her. But the thing is, they said if it's not broken, why fix it? They're boyfriend and girlfriend. They won't get
They don't want to
married.
get married, yeah.
And they've got 2 kids together. What do you guys think? Has she got it right or has she got it wrong?
Are we using our cards? Are we putting up our cards?
I think I'm going to go green as well.
I don't know. I think
It's very hard, you know, because
Why?
I do watch sometimes Keeping Up with the Kardashians. And she is not easy, but she's not an easy woman as well, I have to say.
Yeah.
That she does have some issues that she needs to sort
really
out.
has to, yeah.
But at the end of the day, they always come together and they love their children very much, and you can see that they try to restore their relationship every time they have problems. They try to restore their relationship because of their children, and at the end of the day, because they do love each other and they do care for each other.
Yeah.
What do you think?
And
Kim?
isn't that
You
what
say-
relationships about?
Yeah.
You say that she got it wrong. Why do you say that,
I
Kim?
think, because I mean, I kind of dabble with the Kardashians. I'm not an avid follower.
Yeah.
But when I do look at their relationship, the relationship to me doesn't look very balanced. It looks like she has far too much control in the relationship. And for that reason, I think she's got it wrong. Because sometimes, I mean, I'm not in a relationship and I don't really know it in detail, but it looks like if she didn't have her celebrity and the show and everything, would he really still be there? And when I do watch them when I do watch it, which is not often, I think to myself, if there wasn't the show and everything, I think to myself, would that guy really still be in that relationship?
That's interesting.
That's what I think when I look at them.
Well, I say she got it right, just because I think he deserves a medal to put up with her. She's got a load
Yeah.
of issues. You know, he begs her, it's like, please marry me, he tries to change, and then she still doesn't marry him. I just think, you know what? If he's going to stick with you, well done.
Yeah,
right,
well
so
done,
Rihanna
yeah.
and Chris Brown, after everything that she has seen and been through with him, she still wants to be with him. She allegedly went back with him because she still loves him. What do you guys say to that? She got it wrong? She got it wrong? Yeah, I've got to agree with Sam. I think she got it wrong. What do you think, Kim?
I do think she's got it
Yeah,
wrong.
she's
I
got it
can't
wrong,
say
yeah.
she's got it right at all. I think it's quite sad.
I think anyone that tries to chuck you out of a car, a moving car, I think you've got it wrong.
I know. I'm a person that believes in second chances. I do
you?
believe
Yeah, I
in second
do.
chances,
I do.
but I don't. I think in a situation like this one, the second chance, you have to wait, and you have to make the guy suffer and suffer and suffer, and be proven that really is worth of a second chance.
But the thing is, she's going on saying, oh, I love him. Do you think because it feels right that she should go with it?
No, I think the emotions here play a big part, you know. I think sometimes no. I think many times you have to use your head, especially when you've been in a relationship where, you know, domestic violence has happened. Like in her case, all of us know that. You have to use here
Yeah.
and not your heart as much as she's using, or it looks like she's using.
Using her heart, I know. There's a lot of emotion involved.
Yeah, I have a lot of
in
emotion
the
involved, yeah.
I just think it's so sad that with all the celebrity she's got and all the people that she can meet in her life, that this is the best she can find for herself. And I think, you know, after someone has disrespected you in such a terrible, terrible way and brutalized you like that, that you can think this is the only person you could ever love. I think that says volumes, and I think it's incredibly sad.
Yeah, I think it's really, really sad actually.
Yeah, totally agree.
I think sometimes we let our heart just sort of run away with us, and there are telltale signs a lot of the time, which we're going to go through now actually. And I think there are red flags that a lot of the time we women, we don't want to see, which is what makes it really sad. So let's go through the telltale signs of Mr. Wrong. I think Kim, you've got the first one actually. Sorry to catch you off guard there. So Kim's got the first one. What have you got, Kim?
Oh my gosh, where am I? You can tell this is a live show.
I know, yeah, this is a live show. We'll pass in cards, right?
Okay. What is his relationship with his family? This is really good. Okay. What is his relationship with his family? How does he treat those he loves? Like, is he a bad son or a bad husband? And I think that is a really, really good point. Yeah. You can really tell how a man is by the way he treats the people he says he loves. Yeah. For example, his mother, his brother, his sister. Does he give for them? Can they speak to him? If, for example, they ask him for a lift down the road, they say, no, I'm not taking you, I'm doing it. If he's that kind of man, you're thinking, what is this?
Yeah.
Or, you know, is he the kind of man when he's giving his mum a lift down the road, he opens the door for her and lets her go in? Or puts her in the front seat and doesn't, or puts you in the front and sticks her in the back. You know, little things.
Yeah. Because that will be you one day, isn't it? That's
Exactly.
That's the whole reason behind it.
It does expose a lot about a person.
And the mother of his children. If he's got children, how does he treat the mother of his children?
What if he's got other children?
Yeah. If another person. If he mistreats that woman, you can bet that if you and him fall out and you have kids for him, that's how he's going to treat you.
Oh, wow.
It's quite strong, isn't it?
Yeah, go on, Sam.
Well, I've got, does he have the tendency of violence? And I think that's a really, really strong one. I think women, this is something they really have to look for the telltale signs about this in men. If they show aggression, you know, if they are quite abusive, the way, even mannerisms, because it doesn't have to be just them hitting you. It could be verbal or mental abuse. So these are big, huge telltale signs that I think women should be looking out for.
Well, I have another point as well, is if he is a user. If he calls you or if he goes to you just when he needs you. Otherwise you are just there, you know. So if he can't give now something to you, because a relationship is supposed to be to please each other. So if he's not pleasing you and giving you, so will he give to you later? So
I'm telling you. Well, I've got manipulative. You know, those guys who when they're with you, they're one person, and when they're, you know, without you, they're with someone else, they're a different kind of person. I think you've got to be really careful of those sorts of people that have different masks and different characters. You know what I mean? I think it's a little bit scary actually, because one day, actually, you may think you're with like this really nice guy, and he may turn into an absolute monster behind closed doors. What have you got, Kim?
I've got, is he an extremist?
Yeah.
Is he not balanced? Is he too much of one thing and appears to be too perfect because he isn't truly himself? What is he hiding? That's like the typical two-faced person.
Yeah.
Who wants that in their life?
Scary.
Horrible.
Because you can never give them, you know, can you give them 100% trust? That's the thing. And, you know, I think any man that is quite secretive or they're not very open, I think alarm bells.
Tell me about it. Psychopath, that's hilarious. Okay, well, we've got to go to a quick break. I'm sure with these few pointers that we've given, some women will still go for the bad boy. So what we've done, we've got a relationship love coach who's going to be coming on just straight after the break. Her name is Kate. And when she comes on, she's going to give us some tips on how to find Mr. Right. Back soon. Welcome back to the show. The good boy, the bad boy, and the mama's boy. Why do you always fall for the bad boy? Well, we've got a relationship love coach, Kate McKenzie, here on the sofa with us. Hi, Kate.
Hi there.
So good to have you with us.
Hi there, Kate. Nice to see you. Lovely to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, really good to have you on. So you're going to point us in the right direction. First of all, before we go into this, I want you to just tell us, what is a love coach?
Okay, so what
what I intend to do with people, and I work with individuals and couples and groups, is to help people love themselves. And if you love yourself, you follow your passion, you connect with your purpose in life.
Love that.
Thank you so much.
I love that.
Thank you so much. Then what you do is, if you're single, you will meet a guy or a woman, and if you're in a couple, you can bring the passion back in. Or if you're wanting to open up to your creativity, if you open up to loving you, following your passion, things will happen. So people come often when they hear love coach for romance, and then individuals, and then they say, wow, okay, I came for a partner, I found myself, I started doing art, moved to the countryside, doing more acting, whatever it is, and I met a guy. And they're surprised that it's not meet the guy, then do the thing. It's meet yourself, then the things show up.
That's really interesting, actually.
So it's like being Miss Perfect first, so
that's
that
exactly
after you can find
it. And
Mr. Perfect.
that's it. And people are totally surprised that actually it's about making Project Me, including the relationship, including like, you know, if that's been going wrong, how do you nurture you? How do you resource you? You know, if the guy's not had enough male friendship time, he's going to be tired when he goes home. Or if the woman is overdoing it, she's not going to feel so exotic or erotic when she goes home. So it's like, how do you put that love, you know, you pour a whole load of love or fountain of warmth back into you. You're going to take that into your relationship, or you're going to take that into life. You'll open up and meet people, all kinds of things can happen. So often I find that people's careers and their love lives open up at the same time that they're putting love back in.
Oh, that's really interesting.
Wow,
It all starts happening,
I want to ask you, Kate, you know, what are some of the common mistakes that women make when looking for their partner for life? Because, you know, like you said, everyone wants to be happy in a relationship. But, you know, so many women just get it wrong.
The thing which is so understandable is there's either fear or there's love. There's either we're present, happy, centered, open, or we're closed down and we're contracted and we're like, it's never going to happen, it's not going to happen. And so what I feel is that quite often women are really clever, they're drivers. Often women are very grounded, they know exactly what they want, they're going to go and get it, and they're not staying in the pulling motion, just drawing it in. They're in the pushing motion. So they may be extremely beautiful and gorgeous and draw a lot of men in, and they can get rid of men almost as quick as they pull them in, because then they're going, right, what's happening now? What am I doing now? Are you buying dinner? Because she's driving it rather than pulling it. So there's some skills all women can learn about being the source of love, about being magnetic and attractive, which is actually opening up, which can feel vulnerable and unsafe. But actually it's the safest place to be, because if you're open, you'll clock if he's a nice guy.
Yeah, but why do women have that tendency of actually pulling the bad boys then?
I would suggest that she's in her head, she's not in her heart, and she's not clocking. Is his words matching his body?
Right.
Is his energy and what he's doing matching? And she's so focused, I'm going to get a man, going to get a man, going to get a man, going to get a man. She's not like, how do I feel with him?
Yeah.
How am I being with him? Let me take my time.
Because I was actually thinking of myself, because my first love was I actually went for someone so negative. And I thought, it's my first love. Why would a person for their first love go for someone so negative? So that...
Sometimes the thing is that it depends how you've been brought up, what's happened to you, what was your original, the caretaker in your life who was a man, what your experience of men was. Many women carry huge ideas, even if their father or the caretaker was fine, their mother might have said, men are all like this, men are, they might carry some negative beliefs, and then we just go and reproduce that.
Oh, right.
So sometimes, and obviously that's changed for you now, because I heard you, you're in a really good relationship.
Exactly.
But so you've grown and learnt.
That's right.
But for some women, they might need to do a little bit of work on forgiving men, letting go of some of these beliefs. Otherwise, they'll just keep bringing in the man they believe men are.
Yeah.
If you want to change that, start to realise there are some really good guys out there.
Wow, it's funny that you should ask about the bad boy, because we asked the question on our Facebook page, why do we always like to go for the bad boy? And we got some interesting comments. Some said, I guess the bad boys are charmers, meaning they are full of swift nothings, and at the end they show their true colours. I don't know, so charmers. These kind of guys are confident. When they want something, they go it and get it, and to prove it, they're in control. We girls like to be with men who are in control. Someone else said they're exciting and adventurous, they are challenging and mysterious, masculine, and they help us to feel power, knowing how to talk to us. And the final one said, we like a challenge, don't we? Us girls, otherwise it's really boring. We don't like to having to chase much because those fellas will never work us out. But so they say, you know, they like it when they've got a challenge. I think like a project. Do you know what I mean? Do you agree with any of these comments or not?
I do. And I also think that having the right guy is when you're ready to mature. Sometimes, you know, it sounds cool.
I can relate to that.
Yeah. I
Like
think,
life in the fast lane sort of thing.
I think sometimes some women think, hey, I've got a lover, I've got a guy, we only see each other occasionally, and I'm like having fun and my life is cool. And actually at a certain point you go, I'd quite like more than that. I'd quite like a steady guy. I'd quite like to be married.
Yes.
I'd quite like... So I think it's often a match with where the woman's at. She wants the guy who's just chatting her up quickly, who looks good. Maybe she wants, after a while, something deeper, something more. And so often we get where we're at. And sometimes it's about being really open and clocking, you know, because sometimes it's, again, watching, does he mean what he say? Is this the right thing? Are you a match? Are you asking the right questions?
So it's like being intelligent, right? Being intelligent.
Exactly, because you were speaking before about the heart and the mind, and I do think that when you start a relationship, it's all about the heart, but when you want to take that relationship further, it needs to be your mind, because then you need to see all those points that you were talking about, isn't it? Like to see if you really like focus with that person, if that person clicks with you, and that needs to be your mind telling you to see all those you know, all the things, exactly all the personality, the character of the person, and everything like that. Do you think that is?
Well, I think that's a really good point, because I think in a way, if you're more present, which in a way, if you're more embodied, rather than just in your head going, is it going to tick the box? Is he going to marry me? Is he gonna... But if you're kind of like also thinking, but also open, and just enjoying the space with both of you, and just saying, am I enjoying being with him? Is this a really good person to be with? Am I enjoying, you know, and clocking. And I think when we're driving, and I think women are really good drivers because they're such good planners and they're on everything, and you know, and I think in some ways men are slower, you know, and women are like, you know, first date, getting to the aisle. And I think if a woman can slow down and just say, well, how do I feel?
And I think that's where we're getting to here. It is about using your head, because in all the relationships that we went through, the celebrity relationships, a lot of them didn't use their head. They actually used their heart. They used their emotions. And, you know, I think some of the things you're saying is, you know, you've got to think, okay, is he compatible with me? Is the bad boy going to be good for me? I want children. Does he? Are we going anywhere with this? And I think a lot of the times you don't ask yourself those questions. And actually, we've run out of time, and I'd like to thank you so much, Kate, for your contribution. But that is our conclusion today, actually, is a lot of the time people are looking for Mr. Perfect. Does he exist? I don't think so, but Mr. Right exists, Mr. Right for you. And if you're watching at home and you think, you know what, I've had so many failed relationships, he doesn't exist. I've actually given up on my love life. I don't even want to go there anymore. It's just too painful. Well, actually, Sam got it right, didn't you, Sam?
I did,
and,
definitely.
You know, I'd like to say to you, if you'd like to sort of challenge yourself and say, you know what, I do want to find Mr. Right for you, Mr. Right for you, then why don't you email us, and we'd love to help you, right?
We would definitely love to help you.
So comments at dkw.me, that's the email. And I'd like to leave you with this final word. A lot of the time we are taught to use our hearts, but why don't you challenge yourself and use your head? Like Kate said, why don't you sort of learn, you know what, how do I love myself before I try to love anyone else? Because you won't find Mr. Right for you, or even if you're in a relationship, you won't find your Mr. Right if you're not Miss Right. And you can never be Miss Right if you don't love yourself first. And you're probably wondering, how do I love myself? How do I value myself? Well, next week, right here on DKW, we're going to teach you exactly that. So that's all for today. Thank you so much, Kate, for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies. It's been a pleasure as usual.
That.
And next week, same time, same place, we'll be here with DKW. See you later. Bye.
Bye. Bye.